Welcome to ZTTV, another episode highlighting people in Vegas, the greats of Vegas. You have myself Teasers, you got the homie Zena right here, and our special guest Cherish, owner of Official Cheri. She does a lot of other things as well, but she's very, very talented with this. And can you believe it or not, it's all hand stitched. It's beautiful. We got a couple bags in the back. Cherish, could you just show them real quick before we get into the conversation?
Yep, so this is one of my makeup bags that I hand sew, and then this is my shoulder bag.
So beautiful, really nice. So beautiful. I ain't gonna front
Thank you.
What's the brand with the that hit out the market with Beyonce and they got the T on it?
Oh, Telfar?
Yeah, I feel like if you get the momentum like that,
yeah,
it could be the same thing.
Telfar did incredibly well.
It took one person, you know what I'm saying? And I'm a big believer of 6 degrees of separation. But let me stop talking so fucking much. We got the Clico here, so we're gonna do a toast, celebrating this unity, this union, people supporting ZTTV. We appreciate y'all. Y'all better start liking, sharing, and subscribing. Simple as that. And we just gonna keep it basic, man. We like to make y'all feel like y'all in our home. Mi casa, su casa. As much as Zena wanna tell y'all she Hispanic, she black.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
Oh, period.
And don't say shit about Kansas City.
Go Bills! Let's go.
We just whooped their ass, okay? All right. So,
It doesn't matter. The Eagles are still gonna beat their asses.
I'm thinking so.
Right?
Yeah.
See.
The lines just changed today, drastically.
We just gonna
Maybe it's because I think the players are cute, but that, yeah.
That plays a big part.
You like Justin Hurt. That's what it is, yeah.
He's cute.
He's handsome.
I can't say that, so, he's a very handsome looking man.
Yeah. I agree.
That was a deep voice. All right, let's all cheer.
Let's cheers.
Right. Cheers.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming.
That's good.
I know, really
Keeping
good.
it classy, we're not gonna chug it, okay?
No, not gonna chug it.
My bad.
Maybe
at the end.
Maybe at the end. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just kidding.
All right. So, just to get it started off, what inspired you to become a fashion designer?
Yeah. So I'll go back a little bit. So when I was in college, on my college campus, girls didn't really have. I went to college in a small town. I went to Wiley College in Marshall, Texas.
Okay.
It's a very small town. The closest mall is about an hour away. And even still, the mall didn't have things that the girls on campus might have wanted or needed.
Yeah.
To just feel confident and to just accessorize differently every day. So on my college campus is when I first started Official Cheri, and I used to sell swimwear, purses, things of that nature. And then I got kind of bored and I felt disconnected with the brand because I was white labeling when I first started, and I felt like it was just kind of boring. And so I wanted to have more control over it and not just feel like I was a manager, like I was just picking items, telling people what to white label, and then kind of selling it. So I kind of got over that process. And so the last year in 2024, I went through a rebrand. I shut my store down, and when I came back into things, I was like, I wanted to approach it differently, and to set myself apart and to do something different. And to me, trying to do the fast fashion thing was just, it was too easy for me to blend in.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let me try to do something different, which meant I had to design something. I had to do something different. So my first taste of designing was when I went to Paris, and I went to Paris. I took a purse making class.
I love that too when you was in Paris. Your whole vibe out there was dope.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'd always dreamt of going there as a kid, so it was just so amazing to be there. And I've always loved fashion and had I've always just loved fashion.
How long were you there for?
Paris about a week, 10 days.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she killed it out there. She had all the Paris vibe looks, and it was
I looked very Parisian.
Yeah.
Yep. I
she
spoke a little
I
French.
can already imagine it.
Like she was from there, that was dope.
I spoke a little French. So that was really fun. So when I was out there, I took a purse making class, and that gave me first of all, it enabled me to like wow, I can do this, you know, or this is, you know, this is where my interest is like making bags. So when I got home from Paris, I tried to sew bags, which is more difficult than one would assume.
Yeah.
And I just felt overwhelmed with the process. So I started sketching and looking for a manufacturer, and that's kind of how it all started, to answer your question. Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
okay. That's pretty dope. Like,
Well,
nah,
shirt off.
I'm just obsessed with the fact that like you hand stitching these bags yourself, like, and that self to gives it authenticity, originality,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and on top of that, people don't realize when you're buying or purchasing something, it's not just that. Like somebody put labor into that. Somebody
Yeah.
put time in that. So it's like the quality is good, the material is good, and I put 5 hours in to make this bag. So that's why this price is gonna be this price, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know?
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah,
And
for
yeah, it was so when I first started sewing, I had never sewn before. So when I went to that purse making class in Paris, it was just like we had to use sewing machines. Just like
Yeah.
I've never really done this. But when I got home, I felt so empowered. I came home, I bought a $2,000 Juki, you know, industrial
Ooh.
sewing machine and a cylinder arm sewing machine. I was like, I'm just gonna try to do the thing, you
Yeah.
know? I'd always loved accessories and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I feel like this is something that I can do.
But Cherish, not to interrupt,
You good?
you're not trying, you're doing.
Yeah, thank you
look
so
at
much.
it. Look at it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
this is super nice.
For real.
Thank you. But in the beginning, I just felt so overwhelmed with the learning curve of learning how to sew that I was just overwhelming myself with all of it. So I did find a manufacturer. I looked for manufacturers, and I found a really good one that helped me really implement my designs. And because I knew that it would take me about 8 hours to make a bag. So
Yeah.
and I wanted to make a lot of product so that I
Yeah.
could have it readily available and not have to make it per order, you know,
Yeah,
to order.
yeah.
So I found a manufacturer. So half of my collection is actually sourced from a manufacturer.
Oh,
So I
cool.
sketch everything in Procreate, dimensions. You have to be incredibly specific. Sort of like a tech pack. You know, when you send a manufacturer, like whatever you design is what they're going to give you.
Yes.
So
yes.
my first bags were absolutely terrible because I didn't understand how detail oriented I needed to be.
Yes.
So half of my collection is simply my designs and my, you know, regurgitation of things that I've sketched out, and then the other things are things that I actually sew by hand.
And y'all see how she scaled her business and she's delegating different things
Yeah.
to different people to keep stuff going. Y'all want that sauce? Y'all probably gonna have to pay for it from her. So, you know, she gave you a little game, but not the whole recipe.
Yeah.
Was it hard to find the manufacturer, or was it the first one was creating the pieces?
It was hard for me because I'm picky.
Okay.
And I just wanted to make sure that it would be nice and
Yeah.
they would do a good job. And I think the first manufacturer you see is probably not the best one. Like you need to
Okay.
ask a lot of questions and just be very detail oriented. And what is the work style like at the warehouse, just to make sure that this is not
Just a
some sort of modern day
sweatshop.
slavery.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
so
That is true.
And that's
I was asking a lot of questions, and they were giving me the answers. They sent me pictures of my bags being made, and they really involved me in the entire process so that I could feel more comfortable and better about everything.
And that's really good too, you know, that you thought about that. That's very
Yeah.
humanitarian.
Yeah.
You don't want to just like having people slave and then you making this unimaginable
money
profit
off
off
of
of it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's really cool that you consider that.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks a little bit more about white labeling, because a lot of people don't know what white labeling is.
Yeah. So essentially, white labeling is you can go through a list of products depending on the category that it is, and you take the manufacturer's label off and you put yours on essentially, and you sell it as it's yours. And yeah, that's how I describe it. I don't know the definite, dictionary definition of it, but that's how I describe it.
I like the fact that you took out the time to make your own tagging and your own labels.
Yeah.
Like it's inside the bag, or when you were doing the clothing, you had your own tags. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty, like, that separates it from
Yeah.
a lot of just from it being merch to official Cheri.
Yeah, and so like instead of having Gildan, like, put Cheri on, I didn't have Gildan product, but just as an example of like, you just remove the original source source person's name and you replace it with yours. And a lot of companies do that, right? It's definitely not an illegal thing. It's not an oddity. It's what a lot of businesses and brands do.
Like, as a young age, were you always into fashion? Did you always like clothing, bags?
So I think I grew up in unfortunate circumstances. I grew up very poor. So I think not having increased my desire to have. So most of my clothes as a kid were hand-me-downs or, just whatever I was able to pick up or get. I wasn't able to choose for myself. I wasn't able to find my own style. So when I finally was able to find my own style, I was like, I want to be unique. I want to be different. Yep. I want to, my aunt, maybe my cousin wore this same outfit before. She's handed it down to me, but I don't want it to look the same as my cousin had worn it.
Yeah.
When she wore it. So how can I style it differently? Can I turn these jeans and turn them backwards and somehow make that cool? Or
crop them?
Yeah, exactly. Crop a t-shirt, jacket. Yeah. So I just always had a desire to just be unique and different. And one of my biggest fears is walking into a room with someone and having on the exact same outfit. Now I will have worn it better.
Yes.
But I still don't like the concept of that. So that's also with me creating bags. It's like, these are very limited edition. No one else, when you walk into a room, should, it's available to who it's available to, right? And to who purchases, but I don't want it to be so inclusive because I just hate, I hate that what fast fashion has done for fashion, and that it's incredibly inclusive. Everyone has the same stuff. I want it to be, you want to feel exclusive. You want to feel like I'm the only one on the planet with this bag.
Authenticity.
I have the one of 10,
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. And that's the mindset. What was you gonna say, Z?
Because some people just express themselves in a nonverbal way just through their clothes.
Yep,
So
exactly.
I think it's really important, like how you're dressed, how you're presented. So I like that you said that.
Yeah.
No, for
I agree.
sure.
I definitely agree.
No, I know you kind of describe the logistics size of things and manufacturer size of things, but all right, when you want to come up with a new idea on a purse, what is your brainstorming process? How do you go about that?
So I'm on Pinterest heavily, but I also have, I'd say, 4 brands that I really aspire and look up to. And they're African-American designers. Ooh. One of them is Rovell Gaither.
Okay.
One of them is Brandon Blackwood out of New York, and one of is Anima Iris. And so I look up to and look towards these other brands to get inspiration.
They're your peers.
Yep, exactly,
Yeah.
So
check them names out too.
Yeah, and if you don't already know the ones that I mentioned, their bags are amazing. They're also great people at the same time. Rovell Gaither sews all of his handbags. Nothing's manufactured. Wow. He's a true inspiration to me because I've tried to sit behind that sewing machine for hours on end and to create bags as intricate as he does. And maybe we can add a clip in there of one of his bags, but he's my actual one of, I would say, my top inspiration actually on that list. Yeah, yep. Because there's someone that can have the discipline to sit there and create
doing the same thing tedious over, it's monogamous,
no flaws.
Yeah.
I'm just so inspired by him.
But you know what though? When designers are making those things and putting everything together, sometimes I like flaws.
Yeah.
Because it lets you know that a human was behind that.
Correct.
And a lot of times when people copy your stuff, they do it perfect. Strategic, structured, exact. So that one flaw separates from knowing this the real, this the fake.
Yeah, but I think even on the opposite side of that, to see something that someone's handmade and it looked like a machine made it is
incredible.
It's breathtaking. Yeah. So I had won a giveaway from Rovell Gaither, and it was a little wallet, and I was just you didn't make this.
Yeah.
This is so nice. And I think that's just so cool that someone's hands can put together what you would think a machine or robot had put together.
I just like the growth. Like I said, I've been knowing you what 7, 8 years?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, and it's just crazy that you was doing it before, and it's just every year it's been progression, it's been better. And I know you probably had some adversity, you know what I'm saying? But that's crazy. That's crazy.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
What made you incorporate the creative side and then the functionality side, right? Because you have on the side the lipstick holders. So was that feedback from like your customers or?
So when I created the bag, I really wanted to do something that.
Show them the side.
Give me a
'cause
second.
This is dope.
Yeah, I know.
She has little holders for your lipsticks, bro. This is amazing. I've never seen a bag like that.
And then it's like, yeah, we got to talk more about the bag
Okay,
real quick.
I'll showcase it real quick. I'll
Yeah,
share
you
the
do it,
features really quick.
you do it.
Okay, so one of my favorite things and one of the things that stands out and is different about my bags is the lipstick pockets on the side. And when creating the bags, I was just thinking of, well, what are the designers currently not thinking about? And I don't want to dig through my bag and like trying to find my lip.
Or what the modern woman wants.
Yeah, I just want to grab it really quick. I just like convenience, and also like if I need to look cute for a quick picture, I need my lip. Like I need quick access to it. Also just quick access to your phone, just something, and small little accessories to have that. And I also travel a lot. So this back strap here can slide onto your suitcase handle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so that's what it's called, like the traveling laptop bag, because it can also fit a laptop as well.
Yeah.
So when I
know.
I'm telling you.
Could you show? Could you
crazy.
step closer to the camera and show the inside?
I don't know what's too close. Yeah, there we go.
And then show the inside too, cause like that's dope. That's dope. Great material. Great structure.
Thank you.
And while you showing that,
Okay.
I guess I want to know, like, how do you stay inspired and creative in such like a fast-paced industry? Like, I know you said you have your peers, and they keep you going. The few people you named just a moment ago, the 3 names, but like when it's Cherish. When it's official Cheri go time, and you went through all those peers and all that, how internally do you stay inspired or just ambitious with your process?
Yeah. I think that my past and upbringing has a lot to do with it, as well as my relationship with God.
Amen. Amen.
Having grown up in unfortunate circumstances, I just feel like there's no time for me to waste. Life is incredibly short, and it's just incredibly short, and I don't want to waste a day. I sort of try to live every day like it's my last, not in a dramatic way, but if I can leave behind, at least what I've tried to start on, or if I at least, then I'd be satisfied with that, right? I also love to inspire other people, and in another life, I'm an accountant, but in another life, I'd be like doing character analysis or something like that, because I think that humans are just so interesting, but I think that a lot of people need inspiration. They need people that feel like them or feel like they can relate to them to inspire them, and like, oh, we come from a similar background. I know that could push me as well. So I just really love the fact that I am able to inspire other people, and that gives me a little bit of juice as well. Like, I know that I have my nieces and nephews and my friends that are, like, humbly said, looking up to me.
Yes.
And I just wouldn't want them to give up, because mental health is incredibly important as well. And this last year, just dealing with some family stuff and like going through like mental health stuff with them. Yeah, it's just like the state of your mind is incredibly important. So.
So not to interrupt, your inspiration is your family, your foundation.
Yeah.
You want to break that generational curse and, provide wealth.
Correct.
That's very inspiring.
And I'm noticing that tied to mental health, just a lot of young people are committing suicide, and they're just so mentally bogged down. So I just always want to be a light. I just always want to be a joy in the room, laughter. Like, I just want to have a good time. I want, even if it's a terrible design, just create it, just do it, just kind of go for it. So if I could just inspire people to live their dream, live their wildest dreams, and to just keep pushing. I'd love to do that. And then also God. I've always had a relationship with God. I grew up in a Christian household, and I went to Christian school, and the things that he's done for me, and for me to be able to even do these things, to me is absolutely surreal. I was telling someone the other day, I wake up every day pretty surprised that this is my life.
Yes.
I wake up every day like just so humbled.
But don't, not to interrupt, you know what I'm saying, because you praying, you reading that Bible.
Yeah.
And just to relate to you, like, I've been in Vegas 10 years, and I know for a fact that without God, I would not have made it this long. There's so many vices. There's so many different things you could get caught up in and lose your life
For you
here,
to have
you know?
your mind,
So
yes,
Especially
everything.
out here.
yeah, so to have that foundation, that moral compass, you know, like my dad was a preacher, you know, so that's a lot of where my foundation comes from. I try to really honor, walk, like I just learned this new thing. You know, in the Bible, God says, I am who I am. And us as humans, we'll sometimes say, I'm shitty, or I am not good, I am not worthy.
Yeah.
And in the sense of that, that's a blasphemy because I am is God.
Yeah.
So you don't ever want to downplay yourself. So like,
Yeah, and his word says, I am who he says I am. And he thinks so highly of you. He you know, it's just, we could go down a rabbit hole with,
I know,
with religion and just relationship with God. But I feel like that is the absolute key to success and the key to a happy life and the key to having real joy. Not happy life, but joy. Joy is just, joy, you know, joy supersedes being happy. You're just genuinely joyous. You know that good things are coming your way. Even if something bad happens, good is around the corner. Those things are, repairable.
fail quickly, stay positive,
Yep,
no matter
exactly,
what.
exactly.
No matter what. And we're going to interrupt real quick with the questions. We're doing fit checks today.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So like everybody got their own little vibe put together. You know, I was a little extra today. You know, Gucci tracksuit, Gucci shoes, Gucci socks. We'll keep it simple as that. Y'all know I love
What kind of shades you got on?
Okay. Louis Vuitton millionaires, but y'all know these are my babies. Teasers, Instagram. Y'all see them motherfuckers with hella shots and y'all love it. Y'all love it. Zena.
I'm wearing Joe jeans, some boots I found at Buffalo.
Can you show the boots, please?
Pokemon
We love
t-shirt.
Can you step over and show the boots? Like
Yeah,
right
sure.
like right here?
Those
Like,
are fire. Those are absolute fire. When you first walked in, I'm like, I like those.
But no, these are fire. These
Thank you.
I like. Those are dope.
Okay,
Your
check.
turn.
Little fit check. So this is vintage Ed Hardy.
Nice.
Ooh.
It's from Sewn Vintage in Las Vegas. You gotta shop. Best people ever. These are just some cargo pants, and these are actually not Ricky's. They're by a brand called Christian Zero Tray or something like that. But they have like different variations. I like their shoes better than Rick's. Just saying.
Are they more comfortable?
Yes.
Because Rick's are not that comfortable.
They're very comfortable.
And
I love
honestly, Rick is overhyped.
these. It is.
So
It is overhyped, but I don't know. It looks
It
hard.
depends on the piece. I feel like it depends on the piece.
I like the long boot ones.
Yes, that are.
Because no one has those.
Those are fire.
No one has
and no
those.
one can replicate them well either. I would say. Like,
Because you've had like a lot of collections. Is this newest one your favorite one, your best one? Or do you feel like there's some stuff in the closet that you created before and you just feel like that's better?
No, honestly, I love this new collection. This bag in particular, I'm incredibly girly, and the rhinestone chain.
Very demure.
I love it. I love rhinestones. I love glitz. Nobody has it. That's the thing that too. I made sure when I designed it was like I wanted just something different, and no other.
Don't give them the
large
whole
brands
recipe though. Don't give them the whole recipe.
have this. They don't have it. They're saying. So if you start seeing brands with a lipstick pocket on the side and a rhinestone, they got it from Mon Cheri.
Just know Mon Cheri did that.
Yeah, exactly. So I would say, yeah, this bag is my favorite design. It's also very sleek. It can go with so many things. I love the subtle white piping that it has. And I feel like I just did my big one with it.
Ooh.
It's got, we've got it in my brand engraved in here. Like, I just love it. Yeah.
It gives me very YSL vibes with their clutches. You know what I'm saying? Like
Very elegant, very luxurious.
I would be excited to see that brand that bag next season. And so what? Some of the greatest artists still, but put it in the font of YSL and MC and making it elongated on that bag for the next season. I think that would be like a really cool idea.
That'd be fire.
This one
Okay,
gives
we'll
me
think about it.
Celine.
Yes.
Really? The shape, yeah.
Yeah, because
I like
they do have bigger bags.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very true.
So what do you think a handbag says about like a female's personality or?
Oh, that's a good question, Z.
Are we talking about designer or just the
Just in
handbag
general.
style?
I'm gonna say both.
Okay.
To me
Yeah.
personally, accessories are everything.
Okay.
So
Yes.
you can have on a white t-shirt and some jeans, but like your bag, to me, is going to tell me a lot about you. If it's colorful, it's going to tell me if you're, it's going to tell me a little bit more about your style. Depending on the shape and size, also it'll tell me more about your style. If it's got gold anywhere on it, I'm assuming you're, a woman of luxury, you like, luxurious things or finer things. But yeah, I think it's very telling of your style and who you are. For example, you came in simple outfit, but your bag just told me so much about you.
Yep.
Even,
Yeah. No, I love that.
Yeah.
I love, even when going out, something basic, cheap, and as long as you have like a bag, like a super nice bag going out, then you're good.
Exactly.
Very true.
And definitely doesn't, I think with brands, it's like, of course, sometimes it's telling of money, of, this person has the new, you have a Birkin?
Yes.
Oh, you must,
Yeah,
you have
doing
money, clearly.
something.
Yeah.
Or you flexing and that Birkin empty.
Yeah, exactly. There's no money in there. Yeah. But you can tell that someone, based on brand, you can definitely see where someone's values are.
Yep.
True.
I'm either willing to spend this much money, or I have someone in my life that's willing to spend this much money on me to have something that I hold in my hand that's worth 6 figures. And I get the price point as well, because it's real material and things of that nature, but yeah, this is very telling of your personality, of what kind of bag you carry. And I think that men can also clearly see that by the brand that they see a woman carry, of how expensive is our date going to be.
Yeah. Okay, so look, you explained like how you was innovative with putting in the lip gloss pockets, the, side patch, especially with this bag where it can hold your phone, maybe hold your AirPods. And then on top of that, it also can fit a laptop and various of other things. I know I kind of threw all that out there, but what separates you from any other bag designer? Yeah,
I think outside of the things that you mentioned, it's also the designs that I have upcoming that are, I think, I'll have to preface with my first collection. It's called Timeless Noir et Blanc, which means timeless black and white, because black and white, and it's just timeless. It's always in, But the designs that I have cooking, they're more colorful. I love a colorful closet. I love different materials. I love jacquard fabric. And I think it's also about, for me, the 5 senses. So with a bag, you can't necessarily always smell it, right? But it's just like, how does it feel, and things of that nature. So not only that, the actual design of the bag and what I have working, but also my desire and the way I would go about marketing. I want to bring back commercials. I think that brands don't do commercials anymore. And I think commercials set the brand apart. So if you go on my Instagram now, you can tell by some of my marketing that I've given you guys a taste of where I'm headed.
It's been beautiful.
Thank you.
I saw it too. It's really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We've been using, with the integration of AI and CGI, I think it's important to stay current with how fast technology is advancing and how cool things can be. So the first video that I dropped when I rolled out my campaign was a CGI video, and it was of my purses. They look as if they were cars driving down the Las Vegas Strip.
It was so dope.
Yeah,
so
thank you.
That's
and
creative.
It surprised me because it definitely resonated well with people, and everyone was like, wow, this is so cool. So I think the way that I will go about my marketing and how intentional I'll be with it and bringing commercials back, I think that's what's gonna change the game and keep us separate from others.
And content is everything, like I feel like with this day and age, like for example, you watch commercials and it's like they're prone to make you laugh, and then people are like, oh, I'm gonna buy that, or they're prone to like look at it as like, damn, that's hella cool, that's a dope visual, like I want to buy that. So like content is very important.
Yeah, and I think of commercials that you think, commercials that I remembered as a kid, like Reese's Puff, peanut butter chocolate, and it's just like, I don't even like peanut butter, but I'm gonna get a box of Reese's Puffs just because the commercial was cool.
Yeah.
Or I'll always remember the ravioli commercial and I actually wanted to do something similar like that, where your purse falls off the shelf and it's rolling home and it's at your door.
Oh, that would be so cool.
I can't drop it because we just talked, but stuff like that of like,
cool.
it immediately brings back nostalgia, and you're like, whoa, I've seen this before. Or, you know, just playing with the movies we grew up as a kid. I can't give too much because I'm going to tell on myself with some stuff that I have in the works. But
like I said, you can sprinkle them a little bit, but don't give them the whole recipe.
Yeah. But just know when you see the next coming marketing projects, it should give you some nostalgia of things that we grew up on and shows that we watch and movies that were dear to our heart.
Very true.
Question I have, do you believe in investment bags, or do you think it's just all a trend?
I think right now it is a trend.
Okay.
It's more trendy than people are investing in it because of the material that it was made from. So yeah, simply put, I think people are just doing that for trend. For example, Birkin bags. I think people, to me, no diss to Birkin, but I've seen how intricate bags could be, and to me, I'm just not a huge fan of the design of a Birkin bag. I think people are just enjoying it because it's trendy and because of the material that it's made of, and that it's made from genuine materials.
The hype too, as
well.
You know,
and I think it's just overall trend. I don't think people like it because it's actually some cool or innovative bag. It's just trendy.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like it's overrated, but
yeah, I definitely agree.
Well, the markup is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like for how much it actually costs to make.
Exactly. Yes.
And then what they're selling it for.
And I think a lot
crazy.
of designer brands do that though, but it's because at some point your name does hold weight. So I see both sides of it of like, okay, this bag actually costs $20 to make, but Louis Vuitton's selling it for $2,000. I get it. However, their name, if they were to sell the bag for $200, you'd be, well, why is Louis Vuitton selling this bag for $200? It wouldn't make. So they have to.
And not to hop off subject too much,
You're good.
but like when you price things, you're attracting your demographic.
Exactly. That's perfect.
So, you know, if you want to lowball yourself and say, hey, my bags are $40, cool. But the fact that you taking the time, hand sewing, picking out materials, you know, like Ye say, I had to pick the cotton myself. You know what I'm saying? Like that brings it to a different scale.
Yeah.
So you can't put me down with these lower end or bags that are just bags, you know, like.
Yeah.
But also it's just simply how the business is that you want to get something at a low item, and whether it's you pricing it at what it's worth or your business needs to simply profit, I think that's just the nature of the business, right? You know, a comb might cost 2 cents to make, but they have to sell it for like $5 or they're not going to make profit of like all the people that have put in the work to make the comb or to make it happen, and they want to keep the person that made it in business. So things also have to cost what they do at the same time. But I think it's hard for people to understand that because they're getting more inside scoop of, well, it costs $20. Why would you charge $60 for it?
Yeah.
Because of all the marketing we've put in, or the
labor.
Yeah, the time, the sourcing, like all that stuff really takes a lot of time.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
And sidebar, just to add in, I've been excited what Kanye's been doing. You go to his website right now, and every piece is $20, and it's quality.
Yeah.
And he did what he said he was gonna do. He was gonna take all the Balenciaga cuts and symmetry and all that stuff, and just give it to the people.
Yeah.
And that's just been beautiful to me. Now, of course, he's at that level where he can do that, you know. But like people like us, we have to establish ourselves first so that we're selling our name, and not just the bag.
Yeah.
Because like we just said, Balenciaga can make the same bag and sell it for $2,500, you know, and it's just because of their name. They established their stuff. They're renowned, you know.
Yeah.
And Z, I know you had another question. What you was gonna say?
So what's the biggest challenge you face bringing, you know, your handbags to life so far?
I would say fear. Fear has been my biggest challenge. Confidence in myself, because it's so easy to design something in the corner of your bedroom and be like, oh yeah, this is hard. People are gonna like this. Like they're gonna buy it. And then to actually do the thing.
Yeah.
So that was the hardest thing to overcome, was like, and also just with me trying to hear God and like, is this what I'm supposed to do? Or is this something that I just want to do, right? So I just had to definitely do like a heart check on myself of like, well, what is my intent with this? What is the end goal with all this? So I'll share now that the end goal of it is to not only to empower women to inspire women and to offer something different to the market. But ultimately, the goal is to get my name out there because I'd like to essentially open a resource center for homeless, addicts, and people that are really struggling. I don't want wealth to just be wealthier to buy more things or to buy a Birkin or to, I don't really need those things. And I think that ties back to me, what I was speaking on about mental health is just like, people need help.
Yeah.
People need help. And then I think when people get to the top, they forget that people need help.
Yeah.
$20 could go a long way for somebody.
Very true.
$100 could go a long way for a mom with kids. And so the ultimate end goal for Mon Cheri is to branch off into something that I'll call, well, I can't tell the name, I guess. But it's essentially a program for homeless women and children because that's something that me and my mother went through when I was a kid. And I felt so invisible and I just felt incredibly low at that point in my life. And life really had no meaning at that stage. So if I could empower other people, that to me would just make all this worth it.
I commend you just on giving people that transparency because so many people feel like, people just had it their whole life, they had support and, you know, that's why they did it, you know, and they'll just like hate or envy off of that. Yeah. And it's just like, nah, like I've been through some adversity. Yeah. It's like, you know, Cardi say, this took a long time to get like this, you know, so like, you know, like I dig that. And then also to add as well, you know, you mentioned God, Jesus, Lord, you know, I want to be real specific with that because a lot of people play against a lot of different gods. Keep pushing that message. Yeah. Keep inspiring people with that because, you know, a lot of people just don't understand. You could call it spiritual. Yeah. You could call it laws of the universe. Whatever fits to you. You could call it religion. But start doing those things because you give, the more you get back. Yeah. And that's all in the Bible. That's all in the Quran or wherever you want to research that information. Yeah. It's always speaking about be a giver and it will come back to you.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
And just being a good person. Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's dope for real. Like,
thank you. And I just always have to, I realize that all this is not because I worked so hard or because I did X, Y, Z. Like all of this is because of God. So that's, and people, everyone believes what they want differently, but a relationship with God is personal. And I know for a fact that none of this has been because of me. It's all been by His grace. He's given me the wisdom to be able to go to school, get through school, get a career that I could use to leverage and to be able to create all of this. Then He gave me the confidence and abolished all fear that I had to go out and do the thing. And through that, I've been able to inspire so many people. So I will never stop sharing the fact that God is real, He's alive, and He's such a good God.
God is going to be that foundation, but how are you, you know, with the business world and how other people don't believe in that type of stuff? Yeah. How do you feel moving forward you will stay sustainable as fashion, you know, goes into the future, keeps moving forward?
So I think that piece is entirely up to me to be as involved in the fashion world as possible by staying up to date with fashion, staying up to date with trends. So unfortunately, I have to be on social media a lot.
You have to.
Getting the inspiration, seeing what fabrics are in, looking at projections for what, you know.
We got to get Z back on that flow.
There's science to it, yeah.
Yeah, I got to get back on the flow.
Yeah, come on, pull up.
She fly like literally autopilot, like she don't even try. You know what I'm saying?
We like that. We like a woman that can dress.
Yeah, okay, she be killing shit.
I'm glad you said that. Thank you. I have your approval.
For real. You know, you welcome, sis. You welcome, sis.
Thank you, sis. My sis got me right here. That's all I needed.
But also, we've talked about Fashion Week. We've talked about going to Fashion Week. So I just think it's incredibly important for me in my day-to-day to stay up to date with fashion as much as possible and to stay ahead of trends and then to try to design quickly, essentially. Because when you're designing for, you know, seasons later. So I just need to stay up to date and be on my P's and Q's.
And speaking into existence, y'all gonna all catch us in Paris Fashion Week. Come on.
Very excited for that.
It's gonna be such a vibe. And I, like we speaking into existence.
Yep.
We're gonna be
ZTTV, Mon Cheri. Everything's
looks,
gonna take off.
Yes.
Everything's gonna take off.
Y'all, the looks are about to go crazy. Like, don't worry about it. Just wait till you see it.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I
And
am
not to
too.
be like all professional, like, but like, what's your philosophy when it comes to the intersection of style and functionality, like with bags or just clothing?
Yeah. Well, my take on fashion is that you should be able to express yourself. It should be more expressive. Everyone has their own style and their take on fashion, but sometimes things don't even need to be necessarily functional as if it looks super cool, right? There are some bags that it's like I wouldn't even really, wear. I can't even use this, or I can't even put anything inside of the bag, but it still gives a cool look. So I think that it just depends on the style of the person and the look that you're going for. But I think that pieces that aren't as common are what really takes the internet and what really takes strides. For example, I know Louis Vuitton had a bag that was an airplane, and it's like you're not gonna use the bag, but it's super cool to have.
It's an
and that's
accessory.
where it comes back to an investment bag of like, this is a statement piece. This is something that nobody else has. This is a true investment, and it's just something different.
And it as it goes along in time, the value of it goes up because most designers, they don't remake the same thing. So it's like if you want that, you're gonna have to find it, and somebody probably gonna tax you for it.
Exactly. And then speaking to functionality, I do consider the everyday woman when I create my bags. If you travel, if you have, mostly everyone has a laptop or iPad or many devices that they need to store on their phone. Most women or most people travel. So I think that those are things that I think of when I design is like, well, what does every girl need, the everyday girl need for, whether she's going to school, the office, going to hang out with friends. She wants a unique statement piece to go out that night and really
dress to
shut
the
it down.
occasion.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Criticism. How do you take that criticism?
I think as we talked earlier with one of my biggest struggles being the fear of doing of launching a brand and doing something creative. But I think constructive criticism is incredibly important because the person giving the criticism is potentially your customer.
Yeah.
So if, hey, I think I love your bag, but I think, it doesn't really work well for this, or I didn't. So I think it's very important for me to consider that in all facets, for me to consider how people do criticize me. But I also am very particular about who's criticizing me because do they have a knack for fashion?
Yes.
Do they really
That's
understand? Do they understand design? Because some
Can't
people just
can't just be anybody.
take every single body's opinion.
Correct.
Because then they're just haters.
If I don't really like your style, if I wouldn't copy an outfit maybe that you had, or if I wouldn't desire a life similar to yours, I'm really not open to your
Opinion.
feedback,
criticism.
opinions,
And to be
Because
honest,
you haven't blazed these trails. You haven't. It's easy to say, "Oh, that bag is crap." Well, you've never designed a bag before and knew all the intricacies of what it may take to make.
Very
so
true.
I think it definitely just depends on the person. But I'm typically open to criticism because it's going to help me with future collections of like, oh, there's this one girl who said that she needed a really nice bag for her baby. Okay, well I maybe won't make it white.
Yeah,
because the
because
mother maybe make it dirty and all, or things of that nature. So yeah, definitely important. but
that's
hard.
pretty cool that you're even thinking like that's just to piggyback on when we asked you about future fashion. The fact that these bags are designed for fashion, for the modern woman. The fact that you would think to say, probably in my next future collections, I'm going to create bags for mothers.
Yeah.
And just like you created the innovation of having your lip gloss right there, I'm pretty sure you would maybe have a baby bottle there, stuff like that, but we still gonna keep that all under wraps.
They gonna see.
We can't give out no recipes, you know what I'm saying? You feel me, Z?
But I definitely want to do bags of all kind of nature. I currently only sell and design bags for women, but I want to design bags for men. I want to do luggage. I want to really do the whole nine.
Nice. I like that.
Yep.
So earlier you named the 3 influencers that are in the fashion world. What are influencers outside of the fashion world, whether it's watching movies, looking at a celebrity, an influencer, do those things give you
Influence.
innovation or motivation? And if so, what are some of those people?
Yeah. So I love the show. TV shows and movies are what give me my inspiration.
Same.
Okay.
A lot of throwback movies and videos, and I think that like 90s movies and stuff like that, they can give you so much inspiration.
Yes.
Because we used to dress different, and all those trends just come back eventually anyways, right? Like
nothing new under
wide
the
leg
sun.
jeans used to be lame, but now skinny leg jeans are super lame, you know, or whatever.
But you know what's crazy? This baggy jean wave is about to go.
Yeah,
I like it.
I love baggy jeans.
I love it on the women.
I like some of the skirts that these men
I
are
like baggy
pulling
jeans
off,
on
the
men though. I'm over
like it
skinny
all.
jeans
I
right
don't
now.
like skinny on men.
I ain't
know why they
gonna
do it,
front. I'm a straight leg, skinny leg type of guy, you know. So
I do think because you're taller, you
Maybe
would
that's why you
look
can pull it
odd
off.
in a
Okay,
larger.
okay.
This is
Short
fitting
guy.
for you right now.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this is good.
But just
Like
to
taller,
know,
sorry, not
just to
larger,
know
taller.
though, I got some baggy looks coming. So you know, just to give it to
Yeah,
y'all,
let's
just
see
to
it.
show.
What's some advice you would give to someone trying to start to do something like this?
Yeah.
Building their own brand.
Yeah, the first thing I'd say is that typically there's going to be fear a part of the process, and you'll be, you know, sort of afraid to kind of step out. But whatever, everyone's creative, and whatever's come to your brain has definitely come there for a reason. So you just have to try to get as much self-confidence as you can in yourself, and just try to eliminate fear. And whatever it is that you're chasing, whether it be in the fashion industry or something else, my encouragement is just dumber people have done it, less qualified people have done it. So not to diss other people, but sometimes the people that are ahead of you, the people that you look up to, you're like, well, how did they do it? The only difference between you and them is that they started and that they went out and did the thing. So that's my encouragement to people is just start, just do the thing and do it afraid.
Just do it. Don't try.
Yeah.
All right, and I
do it,
know
don't
we've been
overthink
like,
it.
what you saying?
I said just do it. Don't overthink it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I
exactly.
feel like we always get in our own
Or you want to
thoughts.
do it at the perfect time, you don't wait till everything's perfect.
Yeah.
Like there's honestly never going to be a perfect time. Like you just have to try. So that's
true.
And I know
cliche advice, but it's honestly golden. You should just do the shit.
people, you know, sit there and say it's cliche, but if you actually apply it, it works.
Yeah,
you
exactly,
know?
exactly.
And I know we've been having you for a long time, and we thank you so much for that. But like one last question, what is one goal for 2025?
One of my goals for 2025 is to get my brand noticed and get the name out, mentioned by more states than Nevada and by people that are outside of my circle. So I want to work with, I have some friends in Florida and Atlanta that are willing to, you know, help me promote and stuff like that. So my biggest goal is to just continue to get my name out there and continue pushing and release another collection. So, yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
that's good. Well, hey, let's cheers
Let's cheers.
Yep.
to another ZTTV podcast.
Cheers.
Again, teasers, Zena, Cheri is the brand, but Cherish is the name. We thank y'all for showing up today. Like, share, subscribe.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Subscribe if you want. If you don't, it's okay.
Subscribe.